Yeah, I mean, it's been fantastic to have obviously a letter from the Queen, letter from the Prime Minister to all of the team, and the recognition that the players and all of the staff have gone about this in the right way. We had a fabulous reception when we left St George's. All the local villages had come out and lining the route, and people pulled over in lay-bys, and so you got more of a sense of what's going on outside the bubble that we've been in. But it always comes back to tomorrow. You know, we're in a final, and we're here to win. So everything, it's important how we've represented people, and we're pleased that legacy has been there. But now we want to go and bring the trophy home for everybody.
Gareth, tomorrow it's going to be a long day leading up to the match. I was just wondering, what does tomorrow look like? You know, how do you keep the players, I suppose, busy, if you like? It's going to be hard enough for the fans, let alone the players, and they've got to wait till 8 p.m. to kick off. What do you do in that time?
For us, it's just a normal match day. We've prepared the same way for all of our evening kickoffs, and we'll have the same meetings at the same time. Players will perhaps have a stretch or a walk, although that might be a bit more difficult looking outside the hotel. So, but all of our preparation, especially for these knockout matches, has been the same. We've had evening kickoffs each time, and I think no matter what the game, you've got to keep that consistency in how you prepare. The players are ready, they're tactically aware, they're used to playing in these games, and everybody's looking forward to it.
And I was just wondering, when you got the group together, I think Luke Shaw said at the start the speech you gave was moving when you addressed everyone at the same time. So just wondering, what did you actually say to them at that point to set the tone for this tournament?
Well, we presented everybody with legacy caps, which, as you know, we have introduced the legacy numbers in the last couple of years. We felt that's been an important thing, not just for the players that are with us now, but for our former players. You know, you to have that moment where you've got your number, it's unique to you. There's only a certain number of players who've had the opportunity to represent their country, and so we talked a little bit about that and how, you know, this was our moment to represent our time. What had gone before is not unimportant, because we recognise the contribution other people have made, and we're respectful of that. But the near misses and the tournaments that haven't gone so well weren't important for this team. And over the last 4 years, they've knocked down so many barriers, and they've come through so many different challenges, different ways to win matches, had to come back from being behind, had to go through extra time, had to go through penalty shootouts. So their resilience and experiences as a team have really prepared them well for this moment.
Thank you, James. Next we'll take a question from Italy. Marco Conterio.
Yeah. Hello, Mr. Southgate. My question is, do you have any message for the fans for not booing the Italian national anthem?
Yes, of course. It's important that our fans always respect the opposition, and we know that in actual fact, when we play abroad and fans boo our anthem, it probably inspires us even more. So I don't think it will help the team. I think we can intimidate the team with the booing during the game, but it's you know, different for the anthem. I think we should be respectful.
The much talked about football's coming home chant and phrase, because it seems to me like it's being misinterpreted outside of England as some kind of English arrogance, and when you go out of a tournament, it's being used as a joke against you. So I'm just wondering, as you followed this chant for I guess since '96, how do you interpret it, and what is the real meaning of it?
Well, I didn't want to listen to it for 15 years because it was too painful for me. So it's yeah, you have to know the English to understand our humour, and our humour is probably quite unique, but it's certainly not arrogant. The lyrics are making fun of ourselves, really, and the things that have gone wrong. So it has always appeared now at the tournaments. We've got a couple of replacements that have seemed to have come in now in terms of songs as well, which is nice to keep moving things forward. But it's great. The atmosphere in the ground has been great. You know, Wembley, the new Wembley is, when we started 3-4 years ago, we had people throwing paper aeroplanes. They weren't behind the team. There was an apathy towards the team. Now the energy in the stadium is fantastic, and that's so important for the players. You know, they need to feel that. They need that warmth, that support, and it has definitely helped inspire us during this tournament.
Thanks, Harold. That's next.
Yeah, we're very calm. We've got a lot of belief in this group of players, and Harry and myself were just talking earlier that we've grown into the tournament. We knew there were different phases of this tournament, and our first objective was to qualify from the group, and we stayed calm after the Scotland game when, you know, they're the moments where there is criticism and you can adopt a siege mentality and change your approach with people outside, and we were determined not to do that. We were quite consistent in the way we carried ourselves and went about our work. And from there it's been opportunities to make history every time we've played, it seems. So we've done that, the players have done that, and yeah, we're looking forward to the challenge. It's a brilliant game to be involved in. It's a brilliant game to prepare for because we're playing a high-level opponent, and they're tactically very good. They've had a tremendous run, so that's another great challenge for us. And when you're the coaching team, you watch everything, and you have to decide the most important information for the players and not flood them with too much. Try and adapt the game to our strengths. Try to highlight the potential weaknesses in the opponent. So, of course, there are fantastic players all through the Italian team. They have a good tactical plan, experienced coach, and an amazing record over the last 30 games. So we're very aware of that. But players like our two midfield players, they've played beyond their experience in this tournament, and they've already played against Luka Modric, Toni Kroos. So they've had to adapt to these types of midfield players with great European experience, and they've done that brilliantly. We're different, you know. We have our own strengths. We have our own style of play, which is geared towards the strengths of our own players, and that's the beauty of football, that every team has different strengths, and we've tried to play to ours and adapt our game to our strengths, and we need to do the same tomorrow. I think any manager relies on having support from coaches, especially. You know, I've got a fantastic assistant, Steve Holland, who we've worked for a number of years now, and I couldn't do what I do without him. But we have a big staff, and in modern management, in any business, you can't lead without good people around you. You need the right information, the right support. And so, you know, I'm fortunate to be in that position. Also, we have some very good players, and we should never underestimate the fact that whatever we might do, the game's about players, and we've got some very good ones who are highly motivated, who've worked brilliantly together, some high-profile players who've really accepted perhaps not getting as much football as they might have wanted, but they've all committed to the team, and they've committed to the group, and I think our country have realised that. They've seen what that's been about, and they deserve to be in the position they are now with this opportunity.
Thanks, Marcello. Alex Howell, BBC Sport.
Hi, Gareth.
Hi, Alex.
I was just going to ask, have you allowed yourself to think about what it would be like if you managed to win this tournament? I know you're very focused on the game, but have you had a couple of moments when you thought about what it would be like to bring the trophy home?
No. I mean, at the back of your mind, you always have to have a bit of a vision of how you would like to see the end, and play that out. But the reality is, I think you've got to focus on the processes and focus on the performance, and that's what we have always done with this team. And I think that it's important that the players have an understanding of that. Whatever path the game takes, and it can take any number of different paths. Football matches are like that. They're prepared and they're ready. So it's pointless if you start to think about the end or after while you're still involved in the game or before the game. Then you're probably heading in the wrong direction. And we've just got to make sure we control the bits that we can control.
Thank you. And then just one more, Gareth. I know you spoke to my colleague earlier, John Murray, and mentioned that Phil Foden had a slight knock. I was just wondering whether there had been chance within the team to assess him and whether he'll be available for tomorrow.
No, as I said earlier, he's a doubt. We've been on the bus for the last couple of hours, so medical team will sort of give us a final update on that later. But he's definitely doubtful, although it's not something that's serious. It's just a case of whether it's going to keep him out of this particular game.
Thanks, Alex. Simon Evans, Reuters.
Hi, Gareth. I mean, obviously, this being a final, it's logical that this is the strongest team you're going to face in this tournament. What do you think the team has to do better than it's done in previous games? Very good performances throughout, but to raise their game for this, what areas have you been focusing on doing better in?
Well, it's not necessarily about better. It's the challenge of every game is slightly different, and in finals, actually, the key is to hit your normal level. Right. Lots of teams in finals end up underperforming, and you don't have to find a level beyond where you've ever gone before. It's about hitting and doing what you're good at, transferring what you do every day on the training pitch into the match. And I think our players know that's our ethos. They've been in matches, as Harry said earlier. We've got a number who've played in Champions League finals now, a number who've been to a World Cup semi-final. So we know that those preparations are important. Every game is different, every opposition is different, and we always review our matches. We always look back and look at what we've done well and what we could do better. But you know, this game now is a different sort of tactical challenge, a different opponent, and we've got to prepare properly for that.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks, Simon. Jack Pitbrook, The Athletic.
Hi, Gareth. The team started pretty aggressively in the Croatia, Czech Republic, Ukraine, Denmark games, but started pretty nervously in the Germany game. How do you see the start of the game going tomorrow, and how much of a factor do you think that will be?
I think it's always difficult to know that, because events can happen at the beginning of a game. You know, there can be a challenge that bounces for somebody, and you know, a chance can be created, or a pass can drop short, and that can, you know, affect a team for a couple of minutes. So, but I think the biggest thing is that we know that whatever happens during the game, all the players are together. They've got colleagues who are going to work together to pressure the ball. They've got colleagues who are always going to be available to receive the ball. And in the moments where you have to suffer a bit as a team, the team respond well. They dig in together. We're blessed that we have forward players who defend from the front and recognise the importance of that part of the game. And in the modern game, that's so important. You don't carry players without the ball. And that gives you a foothold in games. You can gain confidence from that. So the start, of course, is important. And you'd like a stable start, but the game could be 95 minutes, could be 120. We've got to make sure we're ready for however long it takes.
Thanks, Jack. Javier Caceres?
Yes, one question for Gareth. The former Premier League coach Mauricio Pochettino once famously said that there's something particular about English football, that a coach always loses his team for 10 minutes due to the pressure of the public. They have so much influence on the game. Have you experienced something like this during this tournament, which is more or less the first time after a year without public? And what are you going to do to get your team be wearing a cold hat in this match tomorrow?
Yeah, it's important for us. We've talked to the players for years about the importance of discipline on the field, staying calm if we concede, which we knew we wouldn't go the whole tournament without conceding, and in the semi-final we responded really well to that moment. Within a few minutes we'd created 2 chances and we were back level in the game in 10 minutes. I think that's key. The players know, especially the players that have been with us a long time, that yes, the atmosphere around you can be intense, but you've got to keep your focus on the parts that you can control and not be distracted by things, not lose heart when things are going against you. They're the moments you have to dig in, and we've got a lot of leaders who are growing in the group. We're blessed in that regard, in the starting team and also in the squad, and their voices before games, during games are really important